the first 4 months of this year alone, Oracle, UPS, and Amazon erased nearly 80,000 safe jobs. Even companies with record revenues are cutting thousands. Look at Morgan Stanley with 2,500. That list goes on and on. Dell, 11,000. Nike, 1,400. Disney, 1,000. Epic Games, another 1,000. That is the millennial promise broken. The promise that a good degree gives you safety and a good life. We as millennials are the first generation to earn less than our parents. Forget buying a house. That doesn't even work with a high income. We've been told all the time that it is too unsafe and unstable to be our own boss. Social pressured into a path that is just not working out. And now, as it turns out, even these so-called stable jobs, they don't exist. But because of the stable job narrative we've heard our whole lives, plus the social pressure we experienced, we overthink starting something independent and creative, like starting a YouTube channel. We're afraid of the risk. But look at the data. Is working for yourself independently, creatively, really more risky than a 10-year career at Dell that can vanish in an afternoon? I think we've been taught to fear the wrong things. That doesn't mean that you should quit your current job that pays the bills. But you should think about how can you use the time you have right now in your job to build something long term, to switch to a little bit more fulfilling, free and safe future for yourself. And to really ask yourself, what is success for me? What does that mean for me? I would say the old metric, the old way of measuring that is dead. That used to be a super high position, the corner office, prestige, a degree from a good university or a degree in general. But I think, in my opinion, that is guided by social pressure, not by actual facts. That used to be the case, but it's not anymore. I can give you an example from my own life. I didn't really have the degree, but I would argue I kind of had the prestige. I had my own business, I had my own coffee shop, and I thought I figured it out. I started something else. People knew me. I was making money. And, it comes with the prestige of owning your own business. But was I safe? Not really. And how was my success looking like? Well, I was not free. I was not free of location. I could not move anywhere else. I was glued to that location. By that actual physical brick and mortar shop, and by having a credit. I could not afford doing something else until I paid that off. And I was not free time-wise, because my time was also tied to that location, to the opening hours of that. And I was definitely not free or safe money-wise. I was geographically chained to that point, to that position. And after all that, COVID hit, and shut everything down. I suddenly lost everything that I built myself and where I thought I escaped kind of this 9-to-5 degree type of life. Turns out having a physical job that doesn't give you that. That doesn't give you the freedom. That doesn't give you the safety. That really brought me back to reality and makes me wonder now, look, we overthink the what ifs of so-called risky decisions all the time. Creating a YouTube channel, creating a creative business or something that's a little bit outside of the norm. We do that all the time. At the same time, we never overthink the what ifs of staying in a seemingly stable and safe position. We never overthink that. And the reality is, you give 10 plus years to a company just to erase you in like 10 seconds. And we overthink the seemingly more out of the box, a little bit more creative, unorthodox life decisions so much because we have taught that, we've lived that, we've seen that with our parents, and we want the perfect exit plan, Like, say you're in this position right now, in this stable job, stable position. You overthink it so much because you're overthinking, okay, I need to replace my corporate salary like overnight. But that is not how it has to be, like you can take time. You can take the time right now, investing it in yourself, building something creative, building something that maybe doesn't make money right now, but has the potential to do so with time. My point is, we think we're safe. We think we are somewhere where we are safe and secure. And for me, that was my coffee shop. I thought that's it. That was not the safe brick I thought it was. It was a fragile pillar. And a fragile pillar is one singular thing that holds everything up. Normally it has like high prestige, like owning your own business, like having like a good degree and a good job, like a somewhere, You maybe earn 100K a year, but it's just one source of income. One point of failure. If that shakes, if that crumbles, everything is gone. On the other hand, you have bricks. They're more like this. And you can put them next to each other and you can build a foundation with them. And that can be a seemingly unsafe thing that is maybe just bringing in $500 a month. But it's not just one, it's maybe four. And together they create $2,000 a month income. These are 4 points of failure. It's a way more steady base. If you want to build this brick foundation, you will initially start with $0 a month. But with time, you can build something like this YouTube channel is going to be one day that brings in modest but stable and because more spread out income. It's not just one single thing. And to me, that is worth more than one single high 100K a year income that can be gone with one email. So my goal is to getting my time and freedom back steadily, one brick at a time. I'm starting at 0. My channel, this channel, is brick number 1. I don't have a perfect plan, but I have a direction. And that is, I think, what I want to get across. To spread out, to take matters into your own hands. Let me know, what is one small thing that you want to start building today and that cannot be taken away with an email? Something creative, something that starts small like a flower, like a tree, but that can grow with a steady and good foundation. Let me know in the comments. I'm Johannes. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Have a wonderful day and see you next time. Take care.